I'm packing up to go to San Diego. We're taking a weekend trip to San Diego from LA. I never been down there, but I always wanted to visit and explore a new city. I don't remember the last time we taken a vacation that wasn't for work or visiting family. I packed up fairly quickly, bringing layers because it typically gets chilly at night. We hit some traffic, but overall it was a pretty drive. A few months ago, we went up to San Francisco, so I was curious how driving the other direction might be. Cartier was a great hotel to stay at. Honestly, we'd go back just to access the gym again. It's called Fit, and is a standalone gym on its own that the hotel guests have access to. It has 2 floors, all the equipment you need, a pool, a sauna, and a steam room. We just made it to San Diego. We're in the hotel right now. I've never been here before. I'm excited to try some new food, some new experiences. What about you?
I'm excited to try some new food and to turn off work.
Period.
So we haven't had a break, and we haven't been able to celebrate our anniversary at all.
5 years.
5 years, closing the laptop for most of the time and just exploring a new city.
We wanted Italian food, so after some searching through Google Maps and Yelp, we landed on Sicilia Osteria, a cozy Italian restaurant with a beautiful patio and incredible service. We ordered the homemade pipe, which was a spicy vodka sauce pasta, and the sombreri. The bread and cheese were incredible, but we tried our best to save our appetite for the main entrees. We got the mushroom flan, which I would recommend, and the squash blossom, which was just okay in my opinion. Overall, a solid first dinner in San Diego. We woke up around 6:30 a.m., early enough to still see the morning light. We have a full day of activities, but want to make sure we set aside some time to take care of ourselves. This means getting up early enough to not feel rushed and to have a proper morning routine. We made sure to get a workout in before we started our day. My favorite trips have a combination of sightseeing and activities, but still make sure self-care is a top priority. While Kaylee was getting ready, I started to offload the footage from day one. I typically proxy my footage overnight so that whenever I'm inspired to edit, I could just do so without the crazy latency I would have if I were to use the full res footage. While that started in the background, I got dressed. I love this clothing brand Hidden and realized that my shirt and socks were matching, so I decided to capture that. Our first coffee shop we went to was Rikka Fika. Honestly, my favorite cafe of the whole trip. The open air design, the books, the homemade yuzu marmalade was all 10 out of 10. We took photos of this book of cafe layouts in Taipei and Tokyo, and even saw the exact seat we sat in Fuglin, a coffee shop in Yoyogi, Tokyo. It's not available in the States, so we'll have to pick it up next time we're in Japan. Next up was Fortune & Son, a Chinese restaurant not too far from the North Park area. The vibe in there was immaculate, and the food was amazing. I grew up eating Chinese takeout, and I definitely had some nostalgia eating their General Tso chicken. You can never go wrong with some Dan Dan noodles, and we also shared their garlic green beans. Everything was family style. We had more than enough food, and all the items are really reasonably priced. We knew we had to go to the beach in San Diego, but neither of us wanted to be in the sand, so the sunrise cliffs were a perfect solution to that. We initially wanted to see the sunset, but it was really cloudy, which worked in our benefit because I think it made the beach less busy that day. We always carry our click chairs with us, which are super convenient and easy to set up. We spent a few hours there just watching the pelicans fly by in formation and planning what the future looks like for us as creators.
Front row seat for the
Yo, crazy.
Whoa, they're in formation.
Wow.
My whole camera roll is just gonna be in birds.
You know what? It's okay. I love birds.
Wow.
No, I don't have to be old to bird watch.
I feel like because it's overcast, it's a little less busy. Although I wish it was like beautiful, sunny, blue ocean. It's nice that it's not busy.
I needed this trip. When you're doing such a big like career change, I have this constant sense of like, am I making the right decision? Am I like doing the right thing? And like this trip like kind of solidified the purpose for me. Yo, like I love doing this. Like it brings me really a lot of joy doing this, and like I know I'm gonna have equally as much joy experiencing it, capturing it, editing it. Like it's the whole process of it for me. I feel like this is just like more of gaining back the creative control in that way.
Yeah.
It feels really dope. Like
Yeah, it feels real.
it feels real.
To our surprise, we found out we were staying on the same street as the finish line of the San Diego Marathon, which was happening the next day. Thankfully, we switched hotels tomorrow, or we would have a really difficult time finding parking and just navigating through the festivities. So we definitely will look up events happening in San Diego in advance the next time we make a trip out here. Our next hotel was in the Gaslamp Quarter, across the street from the San Diego Convention Center, which has a gorgeous path with purple-lined trees with the red tram train in the background. We wanted to ride the train, but it didn't line up with the areas we were headed. Day 3, I woke up early around 6:30 a.m. and I started journaling. I recently started this book called Save the Cat, a book about screenwriting as I start to learn more about writing scripts. We wanted to be active, so we decided to walk to Asa Bakery, which is a little under a mile away from our hotel. Asa Bakery is an incredible Japanese bakery that just recently opened in San Diego. The lines tend to get a little crazy, so we got there a few minutes before they opened. There was already some people ahead of us. Would definitely recommend coming early to make sure you get the pastry you want.
The geisha latte is really good. This like edible?
Baka says do not eat.
Definitely come early. Come before they open.
Even just a few minutes. Seems like a huge rush. Right at 9.
Probably the first hour is like crazy. If you want the mochi bagel, it comes out a little bit after. This one has matcha dust on it. So far, it tastes like a croissant, but I just like the way it looks. It looks so pretty. Yeah.
People are going to run 26 miles right now. We're eating these incredible baked goods, devouring.
We packed up all our stuff when we got back to the hotel so we could be more mobile as we explore some other parts of San Diego. I love traveling with this Boundary backpack and organizing all my hard drive within this Orbit Key nest. Next stop is It's Raw, a poke shop near the Ocean Beach area. We kept seeing this shop everywhere and a bunch of people were recommending it to us, so we had to check it out. The lines were pretty long when we got there in the early afternoon, but they moved pretty quickly. We walked down to the beach and enjoyed our fish, while the seagulls waited eagerly. We always leave the beach feeling rejuvenated. After, we made our way up to North Park and our first stop was Love Song Coffee. The aesthetic and the vibe in there is really dope. We both got matchas and I really appreciate how much matcha they add in there. I got a Rose Garden matcha, which has rose and hibiscus. Kaylee got a Bodhi Boy, which has lavender and vanilla. I really appreciate the space there and the amount of love and attention to detail they put into each drink. This spot is definitely going on my list for when I come back to San Diego. Next door was Pigment, a great place for gifts. It was a dope plant shop mixed with some home goods and lifestyle stuff. We didn't get anything, but just walked around and browsed their selection. I love the many plants they have and all the different styles of pots for your home. The light around 4:30 p.m. was really beautiful in the store. We ended our North Park journey at Verbatim Books, a bookstore primarily filled with secondhand books. I love the murals and the art that surround the outside of the store. When you head inside, you'll find the curation and layout of the store is really unique. I appreciated how eclectic the interior was. It really makes it a one-of-one bookstore. When I was younger, bookstores and libraries were one of the only safe places I was allowed to be by myself as a teenager. I would spend hours diving into each title, and overall, I love spending time at bookstores. I think of them as mental gyms. Everyone who goes into one is trying to learn something new, trying to better themselves. I love surrounding myself with that energy. Overall, I had a dope weekend in San Diego. It was a short trip, but I know I'll be back soon.